My name is Cindy Rath, and I have been attending here at Wynn's since 1977, which was the year that I got married. A year later, we had built a house here, and it started attending here as regulars, and I changed my membership here.
My name's Richard, and I'm been going here since December 2025. I honestly came here kind of on a whim. I didn't know what time the service was, so I put a little thing on Google Maps so I could see the street view, and I look at the sign. It says 11 o'clock service, so perfect, I'll be right on time. And I come in, turns out no one's here except for a man by the name of Josh Parker, and I walk up to the door and knock on it, and he's the only person sitting right there, and he's about to start his high school class, and he takes me in that day and just introduces me to everyone, makes me feel just at home in the high school class, and just the way he talked, he made me know that I had to come back for a real Sunday service.
My in-laws already lived out here, and my home church was a church built in 1773, and this church reminded me a lot of my home church.
I was going through a bit of a rough time, got out of a real nasty relationship and this, that, and the other, and my routine every night as I was working in a bar, and I'd get home and drink all night, and then come about 2 a.m, I'd drink a beer, run a mile. And I did that every day for about 3 months until finally one day my body couldn't handle it anymore, and I fell over and fainted on the grill. And I was wheeled to the hospital, and I spent 2 days in the hospital, come back. And the night I come back from the hospital, my grandfather brings me the rest of my stuff from my old house. And very bottom of my box of books is this Bible that I kind of just threw out. You never paid any mind to it, and I grab it and pick it up, throw it on my shelf, and a note falls out of it. And the note was a handwritten note by an old stepfather of mine who was quite abusive for the time I knew him, and it was a note asking for forgiveness for everything he'd done to me. And I woke up that Sunday and went to church next door. I was in that service maybe 20 minutes before I realized this ain't for me, and I was like, I'll give it one more shot. Let me find something a little bit further out in the country, some Southern folk like me. And first one that popped up was Wynn's Baptist, and that next Sunday I came, everything clicked. And after about 3-4 weeks of coming regularly to Sundays, I gave my life to Christ. Very proud to say that I'm one of the first Christians in my entire family.
We have had some times that we thought maybe this isn't the church for us, but what always brought me back was the solid biblical teaching. Mr. Donovan and Mrs. Donovan were a big part of it, and their daughter, and just knowing that even in times when the church was in some kind of upheaval over one thing or another, it was always solidly based on the teachings of God's Word. I guess it was probably in the 80s when we had been searching, and after we had checked out probably 5 or 6 different churches, I told Jim that, nope, I'm going back to Wynn's, and I have not left since.
If this is where the church has grown from the past, and it's going to keep going forward like this, I ain't a fear in my mind that this church is only going to grow better and better through the eyes of the Lord.
I think my favorite time here at Wynn's was probably when I first started getting involved with the youth, and the youth minister that we had at the time had us very involved in missions activities, and I had done some of that previously when I was in nursing school, and he pushed me. He pushed me to do more than I was comfortable doing. And through those years, I feel like I grew more than in any time in my Christian walk. He had us doing local missions. We did missions throughout several states here in the United States. And he had us in Ecuador and Russia, and they were very meaningful trips to me.
I reckon one that tops my list is going on mission to Mississippi with Samaritan's Purse through the church, and that was absolutely wonderful time to be able to serve. We spent a week out there doing nothing but running chainsaws, dragging limbs to the curb, just doing that in the name of Christ. Best way I heard it put was a sermon that Pastor Jeff was putting on about when a lamb's just getting born and it gets its legs for its first time. It's hopping, hollering around, just going in circles. And that's how I feel to this day. And, I don't feel like I'm ever going to lose it. And, the joy that I feel for the Lord is something that I want everyone to feel. So I'm not ashamed. I'm not embarrassed to talk about it. I go out there and I'll holler to the skies.